Hi everybody, Fran here. This video is called All About the Breath, and I really am excited to start to talk about some of these questions that we've been tossing around for years in our classes that everyone has come to me for yoga. Um, so we're going to start to talk in depth here about answering some of the questions you've had for me over the years. Some of this stuff has been very enlightening to me as I've been doing a little more research for this video. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is I'm relaxed. I'm sitting here on the floor. I've got my mat, and the reason why I'm here on the floor is because I want to be able to easily go from sitting up and breathing to laying down and breathing. So if possible, have two small pillows. I've got one to go under my head and one to go under my knees if I need it. And your mat, and have a glass or a bottle of water and anything else you might need to be comfortable and to make sure you're hydrated. Okay, so the very first thing I want to talk about is one of the things that has shocked me over the years, when sometimes people will tell me after they've been doing yoga for years that they can't tell when they're inhaling or exhaling. I have to admit, sometimes I'm not always sure if what the question is. I'm not always sure if they're saying while they're moving and they're breathing, they can't tell if they're inhaling or exhaling, or if they're actually saying that they can't feel the breath come in their nose as they're taking the breath in. That's your inhale. So you're inhaling through the nose, and that breath is dropping all the way down, hopefully into the belly. And then when you exhale, either through the nose or the mouth, we're going to do it through the mouth now. That's the exhale. That's when you're letting the air out. So the very first thing that I want to look at here is another question. When people have sometimes said to me, well, am I supposed to breathe through the nose for everything? Can I breathe through the mouth? And just recently I realized that that's a couple of questions too. People are asking me, is it okay to exhale through the mouth? Yes, yes, yes. You can exhale through the mouth or through the nose. But when you inhale, it's very important, and I'm going to give you some information so you understand why it's so important to breathe through the nose. So when you draw breath in, it's very, very, very important to take it in through the nose. And I'm going to read to you some of the reasons. So, breathing through the nose. Now, this is, I took this information from a specialist on nasal breathing. I'm going to give you 7 points. I'm going to try to go through them all. Air breathed through the nose is warmed and made moist at the same time, and your body needs this before it goes into the lungs. The nasal passage's delicate tissues are prevented from drying out and kept warm at the same time, which protects the nose's sensitive tissues. Also, the air that's breathed in through the nose has a full filtering system. It filters, it cleanses the air coming in through the nostrils of bacteria, viruses, pollutants, pollen, allergens. And in comparison, if you inhale through the mouth, there is no filter. So if you take in pollutants from the mouth, all of that filtration system in the nose and the sinuses and the nasal passages does not help. It doesn't work. You're taking in allergens directly into the lungs. So you want to breathe as much as possible, inhale, through the nose. And there's other points here which I can go into a little bit further, but I was reading somewhere else that the times that we breathe through the mouth, that it's okay to breathe through the mouth, are times when you probably just have to. And that means that you either have some kind of blockage, you have some kind of congestion, you can't breathe through the nose, or you have some kind of blockage in your sinuses or in your nasal passages, and then you just have to get air into the lungs as quickly as possible, and that way you'll do it through the mouth. But mouth breathing is oftentimes associated, I don't know if I know this right offhand, with diabetes and heart problems. I'll probably come across that information deeper into this. But anyway, air exhaled through the nostrils becomes moisturized, and that extra moisture reduces dehydration of the entire body, especially the nasal tissues. So breathing through the nose actually prevents dehydration in your whole body because it creates moisture. The air is moistened. 3, air that is breathed directly into the lungs through the mouth is not filtered. Breathing through the nose filters the air before it enters the body, as I just said. Allergens, bacteria, viruses, etc. are filtered out of the body through the turbinators and other parts of the inside of the nose. The mucus of the airway linings collects potential contaminants where they are destroyed by nasal enzymes before they can enter the body and cause harm or make the body sick. I mean, that's just amazing testament to why it's so important to breathe through the nose. Breathing through the nose protects your oral health. When you inhale through your mouth, the gums, the tongue, and the oral cavity become dried out, which causes excess acids in the mouth. Extraoral acids cause the gums and teeth to decay faster. A moisturized mouth remains healthier for the long term. So that means breathe through the nose and the mouth will stay moist. 5, breathing through the nose helps the facial muscles and the bones in the face develop correctly and helps develop straight teeth. Who would have thought that? That's the first I ever heard of that. When the mouth is closed, the tongue is in the proper position to help the jaw grow correctly, and the teeth emerge in the right place. Breathing, number 6, breathing through the nose lessens the chance of snoring, reduces the chance of sleep apnea by keeping the tongue in the correct place in the mouth, and helps give the individual a good night's sleep. Sleep apnea and diabetes are associated with mouth breathing and also heart disease. Breathing through the nose gives the body the correct amount of filtered air that it needs to keep us sleeping peacefully through the night. And then lastly, number 7, nose breathing regulates the amount of air coming into the body. Breathing through the nose allows the body to take in the proper amount of oxygen for the body's needs and release equal amounts of carbon dioxide that we don't want to keep in our system because that can be poisonous. So those are all my reasons for you at this point why to breathe through the nose. And I'm particularly talking about the inhale when you're taking the breath into the body. So now, I hope you're all comfy. Get a little drink of your water if you want. We're going to move on. And we're going to do a little anatomy here. Okay. Take a little drink. Okay. We almost never have talked about this in yoga, and I'm so excited to show you this. I'm hoping you can see my torso. I wore a small shirt because so you're going to see some of my chunka, but I want you to be able to see when my belly expands. Okay, so now, when we breathe, we're inhaling through the nose, the nasal passages, the sinuses, and the breath is coming down the trachea. The trachea comes down into the lungs, which are in your chest cavity. The bronchial tubes come down from the trachea. They split apart, and go into the lungs on either side, the right and left lungs. Your lungs are in your chest cavity, all in this area. And they have 5 lobes. There's different areas in the lungs. The chest cavity is guarded by the ribs. The rib cage protects the heart and the lungs. Now the ribs, if you feel for your ribs, they're right below the chest. Now this is where I notice, and I have to tell you, when I first learned how to breathe deeper, I had to overcome an obstacle that I had psychologically. I had a tremendous tension in my solar plexus. The solar plexus is right here where the ribs end. Stomach muscles meet the diaphragm muscles. Now the diaphragm muscle has one function. The diaphragm muscle, which looks like a parachute inside the body. It has like a dome shape here, and it goes from front to back and all the way to the edges, and it attaches to the spinal column in the back. That is the diaphragm. The diaphragm's only function is to help you breathe more efficiently and with more power. So if you don't use the diaphragm, you are shallow breathing, and that means that over time, when you get older, you are not going to be able to have the strength to breathe. If you've been shallow breathing your whole life, the diaphragm will not be strong enough from use. So, lungs inside the chest cavity, ribs protect all that. Right under the ribs is this parachute diaphragm muscle, which helps you breathe. That's what it's for. And then underneath this parachute is your belly. And we're going to do some belly breathing. So that's why I wanted to show you the way the breath is going to flow. This is diaphragmic belly breathing. So you're going to inhale, taking the air in through the nose, and you're going to let that air, that breath, drop right down past the chest into the belly. And when that happens, the diaphragm is going to drop down to help the belly fill up with the air. The belly's going to expand a little bit. Don't force it. Fill up with air. And then when you exhale, the belly's going to shrink, and that's going to make the diaphragm get tight, and the diaphragm's going to go up and push up toward the lungs and put pressure on the lungs to empty them out. So the movement of your breathing is: you inhale, the breath travels down to the belly expands, the diaphragm is dropped down. Exhale, the belly shrinks, the diaphragm contracts and pushes up on the lungs and empties the lungs out and comes up and out through the mouth and nose. So the breath goes down through, picture your body, your torso is like a tube, a vessel. And the flow of the breath comes in and down all the way, and then it empties out, coming up all the way. Okay, and anytime you forget that, please ask me about it. I'll remind you. Now we're going to actually do the breathing. So let's try this sitting up first. I'm sitting on the floor. So I'm going to put my right hand on my chest, so that I can tell. I want to be able to tell if I'm taking the breath into my chest. Your chest, when you're breathing in, should stay relatively still for the belly breathing. The other hand's going to go on my belly, so I'll be able to tell my belly's expanding because it's going to rise up. Okay, so inhale through the nose and let that breath draw it in all the way down to the belly. Inhale. So you can see my belly just rose a little bit. Now exhale, the belly's going to shrink. Diaphragm pushes up on the lungs, empties out through the lungs. Okay, let's do that same thing again. Inhale through the nose, right down to the belly. My belly got expanded, my diaphragm dropped down. Now we're going to exhale through the mouth. So the movement of letting the air go out comes up. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. Relax. And then we're going to do it down on the floor. Because I'm thinking down on the floor, you'll be able to see better when my belly expands, if you want to just watch that. So right hand over your chest, left hand over your belly. Inhale through the nose. Let the inhale drop all the way down to the belly. Here we go. Inhale. Fill up, diaphragm drop down. Now exhale everything. The belly's going to shrink. Diaphragm shrinks, pushes upward on the lungs. And relax. Okay, relax. Now just to relax a little more before we go down on the floor. Roll your shoulders here. Inhale up with your right arm. Go over your head. Exhale. Come back. Inhale. Left arm up. Take a drink whenever you need to. Exhale. Okay, so now I'm going to take you down on the floor with me. I've got a pillow for where my head's going to be. I won't be able to see this real well myself. So I'm going to turn around. Okay. Now, I find it easier to have my knees bent. Otherwise, it kind of bothers my back a little bit. You should be able to see the shirt's nice and tight, so you can see my belly expand. It doesn't take much. So, we're going to put the right hand over the chest, left hand over the belly. We'll still keep the hands here for now. I want you to be able to see my belly rise. Now inhale through the nose, let the breath drop all the way down to the belly right away. Nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale, the belly's going to drop down, the diaphragm's going to push up. Exhale through the mouth. Okay, we're going to do that again. Inhale, the breath's going to drop right past the chest cavity into the belly. The belly's going to expand. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, the belly shrinks, the diaphragm moves upward and squashes the air out of the lungs, so the lungs empty completely of carbon dioxide. That's why you want to breathe deep, so that you cleanse out anything toxic or poison. Now, your chest should stay relatively still when you're breathing in. So keep the right hand here, but now try to just feel your belly rise when you breathe. One more time. So we're going to inhale through the nose. The breath drops down into the belly and expands it. The diaphragm right above the belly also pushes you down on the inhale. Now when you exhale, the belly shrinks, the diaphragm contracts and starts to move up and pushes the exhale out of the lungs, ridding you of carbon dioxide and any other toxins. So here we go. Inhale right down to the belly. See my belly expand? Now exhale, the belly shrinks and the diaphragm pushes upward. Again, inhale right down to the belly. Belly expands. Now exhale, the belly shrinks, the diaphragm pushes up and empties out the lungs. Okay, relax. Just relax here a minute. And just see if you can breathe on your own that way a couple of times. Belly breathing. Feel the belly expand and feel, when you exhale, feel the movement of the air going out, going up. It's okay to exhale through your mouth. Do it again. Inhale through the nose down to the belly. Diaphragm, that muscle is dropping down. Now exhale, belly empties out, pushes the diaphragm up. That's a powerful muscle to help empty your lungs. Okay. Now, I'm going to come and sit back up so I can talk to you about shallow breathing. So you can stay laying down if you want, because the other breathing exercises that we're going to do, I think you can do laying down. But these were the most important ones today, because this belly breathing, you want to be doing this diaphragmic belly breathing for all of the exercises we do. There are no breathing exercises that we do that are not deep breathing. So it's very important for us to get this down, the deep breathing. Now, I'm going to read to you why it's so important not to breathe shallow. Shallow breathing, one of the things that's going on with shallow breathing is people that do shallow breathing, or whenever we do shallow breathing, the breath is only coming into the lungs, but not all the way. It's only coming into a fraction of the lungs. So it's just coming into the chest cavity. And remember, below the rib cage and the lungs, that's where your diaphragm is. And the diaphragm is the muscle that helps you to breathe. It's a muscle for the respiratory system function. And when you shallow breathe, you are not using the diaphragm, because shallow breathing's only here, the diaphragm is here, and the belly's down here. So you're not using the muscles of your lungs that are there to help your lungs. And when you get older, it can cause other kind of problems. So this is all about shallow breathing, the dangers of shallow breathing. You're only filling a fraction of your lung capacity when you breathe shallow. Shallow breathing affects your ability to focus. It affects cell metabolism and many other functions in the body. Most people accept breathing as an unconscious activity, so they don't see any need in training. But many people unconsciously don't breathe fully, and we need to learn how to do that, and that's what we're working on right now. Anxiety creates a rapid, shallow breathing, and even when you're not under stress, this kind of breathing, if you are just naturally in a habit of breathing shallow, it will create stress. And because it'll feel like you're hyperventilating, multiplying the succession of rapid breaths, which leads to stress, and it causes shallow breathing. And so it's a vicious cycle. even if you're just in the habit of breathing shallow, you will create anxiety and stress just by breathing shallow, because that's the way you breathe if you're anxious and if you're stressed and the body is feeling it. Okay. Physical effects of shallow breathing. Only breathing from the top part of your lungs reduces oxygen and impairs your thinking, your ability to think clearly. There's a connection between breathing and cognitive function. Shallow breathing disrupts the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide, which keeps the right amount of oxygen coming in and the equal amounts of carbon dioxide going out. So shallow breathing disrupts the pattern of the full breathing cycle that it takes, the deep breathing cycle it takes to draw in enough oxygen and then empty out what's not oxygen, what's toxic or carbon dioxide fully. Longer breaths, both inhale and exhale, slow the heart rate down and decrease blood pressure. So this is talking about shallow breathing increases blood pressure and it increases heart rate. But your longer breathing, your deeper breathing and longer breaths, both inhaling and exhale, actually decreases blood pressure and reduces the amount of stress hormone, cortisol, in your system, which is known to speed up aging. So by breathing shallow, you are preventing your body from using the respiratory muscles, which is what I was just talking with you about. Many people don't understand that you exercise your diaphragm and abdominal muscles with deep breathing. So deep breathing is how you exercise your stomach muscles and your breathing muscles. Shallow breathing often equates to reduced physical ability. You have less endurance and become winded faster with shallow breathing. And shallow breathing causes sleep issues, fatigue experienced by not breathing effectively with the respiratory muscles. And that leads to or exacerbates pain, including headaches and pain in the neck and upper back, due to the disengagement of the diaphragm. So, to me, what that kind of says is what's important here is the diaphragm, the muscle that is mainly built for the functioning of the whole breathing system, is a part of the strength of your back muscles, your stomach muscles, and the whole torso. So our ability to breathe deeply is a whole part of our physical strength in our whole upper body, and the whole body actually. Okay, so sorry I'm making so much noise today, but now we're going to take you through a couple of the breathing exercises that we're already very familiar with. And you can use that deep breathing, what you've just learned about the deep breathing, for these breathing exercises. So this first exercise, let's just do it very simple. We're going to inhale for 4, and we're going to hold the breath for 7 counts. You're going to suspend the breath. You're not going to inhale or exhale. Then you're going to, for 8 counts, you're going to exhale through the mouth. So when you're, and then you're going to start over. You're going to wait for a few counts before you go into the inhale again. Okay, so just take a regular inhale here, the way you would normally inhale. And exhale through the mouth. Now I'm going to mimic the breath with my arms. Inhale for 4 through the nose. Stop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Stop, suspend the breathing. 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose for 4, all the way down to the belly. Stop, suspend your breathing. 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth, emptying out from the belly all the way through the lungs. Inhale for 4. Stop, suspend your breathing. 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And relax. Go back to your regular breathing. Just relax. Okay. Now we're going to go to the breathing exercise that is, it's for the functioning of everything in your system that has to do with right and left systems. So right, left brain function, right, left kidney function, right, left lungs, vision, hearing, right, left brain. So we're going to bring up your left hand and we're going to use the thumb and the pinky to cover the nostrils when we switch. So we're going to start, you bring the thumb over the left nostril. All this is through the nose. Inhale through the right nostril. Cover the right nostril with the pinky. Exhale on the left. Stay there. Inhale on the left nostril. Cover the left nostril with the thumb. Exhale on the right. Inhale through the right. Cover the right nostril with the pinky. Exhale on the left. Inhale on the left. Cover the left nostril. Exhale on the right. Remember, this is deep breathing here. Inhale on the right. Cover the right nostril. Exhale on the left. Inhale on the left. Cover the left nostril. Exhale on the right. Now inhale on the right. My belly's rising, it's expanding. Now relax and just go back to your regular breathing. And when I say regular breathing, I do mean, yes, continue to breathe diaphragmic breathing. So even your regular breathing, even if you're not paying attention to how slow you're breathing. Even if you're breathing a little faster, try to get into the habit of when you breathe, you take the breath all the way down into the belly. And when you let the air out, you're exhaling all the way up and out, getting rid of all that carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, I think we have one more. I just want to show you this one because it has to do with how you get control of your breathing when you are panicked, or if you can feel that something about your breathing is getting out of control because you're stressed or you're angry, and you can just feel the breathing's taking over and doing something that makes it feel like you can't breathe. When that happens, you just want to go to the most basic deep breathing. It does not have to be real slow because you might be very excited, but you want to try to take your time. We're going to inhale through the nose and we're going to blow the air out through the mouth. So right now, inhale through the nose for 4. Exhale, if you can, for 6 through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale for 6 through the mouth. You're not holding it in between. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, relax. Focus on your breath. So I've showed you several different kinds of breathing exercises. We're going to do one last one and then just pause for a few moments in a short savasana just to relax. But this breathing exercise is to build up energy in the body. So we're going to bring the hands up with the fingers open. So the fingers are kind of be up like this, and as the hands come down, you're going to squeeze your fists closed, and you're going to stop right here, but not hard. You don't want to be abrupt about this. Just bring your arms up. Inhale, and you're going to blow through your nose. Actually, through your mouth. Sorry. Inhale up. Inhale up. Inhale up. Now, this time you're going to bring it through the nose. Inhale up. Through the nose. Exhale. Inhale up. Through the nose. Exhale. And rest. Now we're just going to relax. Now, if you want, you've got your mat right there and your pillow. If you want to rest back on your mat, close your eyes, and we're just going to relax in a short savasana, always being aware of the breathing and thinking of breathing as synonymous with deep breathing. Knowing that when you are deep breathing, you are feeling it because you can feel your belly expand a little bit. You'll feel the belly rise a little bit. And when you're emptying out, the belly shrinks, just like a balloon letting out the air. Let the whole body soften for a few moments. And you can consider this a very short meditation on just breathing as you're being still. You can make a small smile with your mouth closed. Send lots of gratitude into your body. Relax your face muscles. Okay, bring your hands over your heart. Thank you, everybody. Bring your arms up, inhale up, and allow that awareness of your breath to stay with you all day long, as often as possible. Just notice how you're breathing. Namaste. And just think of it as the breath of life. Namaste. I'll see you next time.